We've got some terrible news about Scream 7. We've got some terrible news about Andor, but we've got some great news about Rebel Moon, which we're going to be reviewing for this particular episode, which I have a very special guest from the other side of the globe. We have, thanks for the invite podcast. Oh my God, my voice. Gee, how you going, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, Lee. It's Jesus from Thanks for the Invite podcast. I know you had a little trouble there. It's all right.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Just
I saw you.
reaching my age.
No, I feel you.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it, especially with the time difference
Oh,
and in
yeah.
this part of the globe.
No, thanks for
And,
having me on, dude. I'm excited.
I'm glad you're, especially the fact that it's close to Christmas.
Yeah, for real. Right around the corner. Literally.
I know it's less than 24 hours,
Yeah.
48 hours.
hmm Right there.
Well, we have a jam-packed episode, but before we full dive in, everyone, you know what comes up next?
Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
So, oh my God.
Your
Excuse
intro's
my
so
voice.
amazing.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate
So
that.
good.
That was I contacted a guy on Fiverr who is a pastor in some
Mhm.
church, and he makes these in his spare time.
It's awesome. It gives me like that 2000s nostalgic. Like I'm up watching like those the like not it was not IGN, but I forgot the channel at night. It had like all the gaming
Oh.
stuff at night.
G4.
G4.
I was about to say
G4.
Machinima.
G4.
It's
It could have been Machinima. It could have been Machinima as well. But like it had that style. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. God, I haven't had someone talk about Machinima in ages.
Yeah.
And that was probably the first YouTube channel I ever subscribed to. Was that?
Yeah, that was one of my first ones as well.
And because they were the two guys that were the Halo guys. They record everything. The characters were two Halo.
Red and blue. Red and
Yeah.
blue. Yeah.
God,
That was hilarious.
I'm pulling the nostalgia train right now.
For real. I was way back. I was in like sixth grade, seventh grade when all this happened.
Yeah. How old are you?
32.
Yeah, we've been about fourth grade for me. I'm 30. Actually,
30?
no,
Okay.
I'm about to be 31.
You're about to be 33, so we're right there. We're
Yeah.
both hitting up, getting older and older.
Yeah, you did.
I know, right?
I have to say, but I have to say, like you started your podcast in June 2020, correct?
Yeah, actually, May or June. I think it was May or June 2020 is when we started the podcast. It's been 3 years now. Wow, it's been a good minute.
Yeah, time flies, doesn't it?
If it does.
So, may I ask, what got you into it? What sparked it? You know, what was the catalyst to get that going? Because you're co-host Damien, correct?
Streaming?
No,
what did you say?
I said your co-host. It's Damien, correct?
Daniel.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. So we're into music and movies. I'm a filmmaker. He's a music artist. And as we got older, we didn't really have time to hang out with each other as much. And then we also were kind of like putting some of our likes to the side a little bit. And so I was like, we kept this podcast and we were consistent once a week. And we actually, that way we actually hang out once a week. That way we can be creative once a week. We get our engines rolling. We're not just talking about things. And so that's how one of the things started. But it was because we wanted to review movies. We wanted to talk about music that because we couldn't really understand a lot of the music that's coming out today. So we were kind of like, I want our take on what we liked and what we feel music is to us. And the same with movies. I feel like movies today all kind of blend to one almost. And I wanted to be talking about that as well in the pod. And so that's what we got it started getting it, we started it.
Oh, well, I can definitely relate to all of that because you guys also you've got 79 episodes, you got 1,626 followers on Instagram and 459. Actually, you had 458 YouTube subscribers this morning until I clicked subscribe.
Hey, appreciate that.
And how I stumbled across your guys' show was I think it popped up on Instagram. In suggestions, and I thought, oh, I'll check this out. And I listened to a couple episodes of your show, and I really enjoyed it. Thanks, and that's why I shared you guys out on the Monday. I was like, these guys are good.
We were surprised because sometimes we go like, maybe no one's listening besides our wives, like they're the only ones listening. And so when you gave us a shout out, like that felt great for us. We were like, oh wow, like we actually have not just someone in our local town listening, like we actually have somebody else who paid attention, because we try to do the same. We try to listen to other people's podcasts outside because we were like, well, we want the same. We want someone to listen to us. We got to do the same thing. And so I really appreciate that, man. Seriously, thank you for that. I'm glad we were able to connect that way.
No, of course. No, thanks to Instagram. But no, and you're 100% right. It's you think who's listening? Is it just your friends and your family? Like you say your wife's going to be listening to it. My partner doesn't listen to my podcast unless it's a movie she wants to know about.
Yeah. My wife's a stay-at-home wife, so it's not. If she wasn't, she wouldn't listen to it. But after she gets done with her podcast, she's like, I guess I'll listen to my husband's next. And so I'm like, thanks for the view, babe.
Thank you. Now give me 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Please.
But no, I'm exactly the same. And because like because you were going to be going through all COVID at that time when you started this, right?
Yeah, we had talked about it like a little bit before COVID, and then COVID hit, and we were like, well, now we gotta wait. And then we were like, well, let's just do it. Like that. I mean, we're just gonna be here in the house anyways, and we're gonna wait till it's over to come back. Like it doesn't matter. Let's just do it now. So yeah, we were kind of like, let's not, but we were like, nah, let's just do it. Yeah. I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did it too.
Well, look how far you guys have come now.
Yeah, it's 3 years. It's crazy. And it feels like a show, and I like it. We do have more listeners now, which is awesome, from Washington and Portland, and people hit us up from all over the places. That's not just we're in Texas. We're in Fort Worth, Texas. So that's not just here. It's everywhere else. And maybe it's not a lot, but the fact that we have, oh man, there's other listeners, like this is awesome. Like, let's keep it going. Those weeks where you feel like, I don't know if this is worth it. And you get that one like, hey man, this is a cool show, blah, blah, blah. And then you go like, oh, they're from Arizona. You're like, that's awesome that, like it's worth it for that one person. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I know. Cause you're like, do we keep going? Can we do it? But it's just that little small thing. Like, and I'm exactly the same. I look at my analytics internationally and I'm like, I can't even spell what that country is, but I don't know how you found me, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. That's awesome, right? Yeah.
I'm like, don't know how you found me, but cool.
However it was, thank you.
Yeah, whoever you are. Because for me, it's America, Australia and UK, Canada, and then it goes down.
From there further, yeah,
and then it's like 1% here, 1% there.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
same. Yeah,
it's like I'll take that one listener. I'll take you. No,
please stay.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, please stay. Tell me if I've done. Tell me.
I'm here. No. Tell me. Message me.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things. I think you've done great in doing that. And I tell this to everybody. I'm like, if you want to start a YouTube, you want to start a podcast, and you're and ahhing, screw it. Just do it. Just click record and press play, because you never know what's going to happen. And you don't want to look back and regret and go, oh, I wish I did that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's the best. And people are like, oh, that's like the easiest advice. I'm like, but that is the best advice. Like, it is just do it. Like, just do it. I promise you, it'll work out if you just do it. Like, it really is.
Exactly right. You go on a YouTube and you can find someone who's got a channel with a really terrible camera who puts out really good content, and they got heaps of views, and it's still the same camera. But because they love doing it, it goes, keeps going.
Yeah.
The reason I started my podcast was we were in COVID lockdown, and I had no more excuses not to do it because all I could do was eat and drink. I'm like, well, guess I'll just start now.
Yeah, might as well now.
Yeah, I can't put it off saying, I'll go do this, I go do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and in a way, for some people, the fact that we were able to start this is great. So the fact that you're able to start this, because your show is awesome, bro. Like, it really is. Like, it does feel like a show. Like, it feels like a show. And that's one of the great things that people who start podcasts, like, yeah, you can start out okay and just doing it, but you have to grow. And the fact that, like, you can tune into a podcast and be like, this feels like a show is like, dude, it's awesome, bro. It's awesome.
Oh, well, I hope so. I hope so it does.
It
And
is, yeah.
and I get to have great guests like yourselves.
I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that.
I've out of all the guests I've had, only 3 of them have been Aussies. The rest, 50, the rest of the 12 of the 50 or 15 other guests have all been international.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you get a hold the same way? Instagram, or just kind of seeing their work somewhere, maybe?
Instagram. I try and reach out to them, especially if I listen to them, I really like their show. You know, I like guys like Stark Wars. I don't know if you've seen them, or Don't Be a Hero podcasts. These guys that do this.
Yeah, I think I follow them on Instagram.
Yeah, those guys. Just searching and trying to find new people to create, because I think podcasting is one of the best communities.
Yeah,
because everyone just wants to help you grow.
Yeah, that's true. Like, everyone's benefiting the same way. It's like, let's just grow. Let's just, it's all fun. We're all growing. Like, it's on the same boat. Like, I agree.
No one's vicious. Oh no, I'm just doing my own thing. Which there are platforms out there that are like that, but no, I find that podcasting community, everyone just wants to jump on anyone's show, and everyone just wants to help. And I think it's, looking back on it, I'm so glad I decided to do it. And I get to meet people like you. But I'm glad to hear that you guys, you guys are only 20 episodes from hitting your 100th episode.
200. So we're actually at 175, but I think on like Spotify and stuff, it only shows 70 something episodes for right now.
It only shows 79.
Yeah. So originally we had 3 co-hosts. So we took off the first like 100 episodes just for, it's a different show. You know, we really went into more the reviews, the actual music, and before that it was kind of more like lollygagging and silliness, and it wasn't a lot of seriousness going on. And so when one of the co-hosts left, he was just tired. He's like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I don't like this. And we were like, okay, it's cool, man. He's like, good luck, guys. Like, I want, you guys love it. Like, keep going. And so after that, we were like, well, let's change the, like the way we want to actually have it, which was the reviews, the actual talk with the, really get into it with some of the guests and stuff. And so that's probably why it shows something. So technically, we're almost close to our official 100 with us too. So yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
No, of course. Because to get that far is impressive, because you hear of pod fade. You hear, because I think the statistic is after 10, that's it. People finish.
Yeah.
And it's there are more dead podcasts out there than there is live.
That's crazy. How many people did you know started out in like the podcast? Maybe you didn't know, but you saw them start. And then how many are there now?
From when I started, I think I've only seen one podcast start and then finish, or didn't keep going.
Yeah.
Everyone else I've met along the way, whoever started before me or after me, are still going.
Nice.
Still going and doing it. But only one I've seen
is one
stop.
Yeah.
Like
it's
their own.
Yes, and you could tell that because it's work. It really is work. Like, it's a lot of work. Like, people don't. I know, and it's not even that it's hard work. It's just work. So I don't want people to think like this isn't hard. It's like, no, you're right. It's not hard, but it's work. Like, it's time consuming. Like, you're like consistently like, fuck, okay, we got to talk for another hour and a half. And did you watch anything this week and stuff? And it is a lot sometimes, but it's fun. I love it. Like, because you said the community is great. I don't think even in Fort Worth, there's a lot of podcasters here, and they have a community where we actually all get to hang out and we actually get to go out and they'll have events. And that's one of the, like you saying that really reminds me going like, oh, you're right. Like the podcast community is great. Like they are fun. They all support each other.
And now those events over where you are, I would love to go to. We don't have anything like that. No Podfest or anything like that. We don't have it over here.
Well, we got to invite you out here. We got to fly you out here.
No.
We do. We got to get you guys over here.
When the podcast makes a lot of money, then I will come out.
Well, yeah. If once we start as well, we'll get you guys over. We'll pay for your tickets if we get there first. Whichever one's first.
Yeah. Do it. Done. Yeah. I will hold you.
All right.
I'll hold you to that.
Deal.
Because I think podcast over here is it's popular, but not as impressive as it is over there. Because I did actually the first podcast event I've ever seen. Spotify actually held something early this year. It was like Spotify Creators Night, and all those people, about 4 or 5 of them, I got to meet, and I've been on their show and stayed good friends since then. I was like, I really wish there was more of this.
Yeah. More. Yeah. No, there is definitely a lot over here. And I need to get out there and talk to more people as well, because I'm very bad at like going to a lot of these events. I talk about, there's a lot of events here, but I'm like, how many have I gone this year? 1? I don't know, maybe 2. I don't remember.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so spoiled on how many events we have.
Yeah. Oh, but like it's about time, money, and try and get to all of them.
100%.
But no, if I had a lot of money, I'd be there, and like, I didn't even have a shirt. It's like, first time podcasting event, and be like, when you go to Disneyland, and it's like,
the pins.
Yeah, the pins is first time.
Yeah.
Hey,
everybody.
But that's right. And you'll be on the show. We'll be hitting up. Damn right. We'll be Game Junction. We'll be hitting up those premieres when I come over there as well.
Hey, shout out Game Junction.
You should go follow them, man. The dude, they are impressive. Their channel and everything they do he's one of the most consistent content creators I've seen.
Following Game Junctions. I'm adding you after this.
Do it. Also, how'd you guys come up with the name? I'm always curious on these stories.
It was a play on so as I started getting so I'm out of my friend group, which right now I only have like 3 of my friends or whatever, but like growing up,
you get like that when you're older. You're like, out of high school or college, you have all these friends, and then when you get older, you're like, I only need 3.
Yeah, that's how it kind of is now. It's like I'm like, 3 maybe 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at first, it was a play on the fact that like I had kid first, so a lot of my friends wouldn't invite me places, and not because they didn't want to, but so they would, but I was always busy. So they would be like, hey, we're going out. And I'm always busy. And so after a while, they wouldn't invite me because they're like, well, he's always busy. Like, he's not going to come out. And so I would always hit them with that. Well, thanks for the invite. Yeah. And so people here, they'll say that like, oh, thanks. When your friends go out and you see them, you're like, oh, hey, thanks for the invite.
Thanks.
Yeah. So that was the play on it, because they would make fun of me that I would say that all the time. And I'm like, well, yes, I'm busy, but I would still like the invite, guys,
I would still appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just a
Will
message.
I go? Yeah. Seriously, I don't know if I'm gonna go, but just knowing you guys thought of me would be enough. I got kids. Come on. But yeah, that was the whole thing. And then after a while, a lot of people were like, "Thanks for the invite of having some of the guests on." They're like, "Oh, thanks for the invite." Like they kind of took it in that sense of like being more special of coming on. It's like, "Oh, thanks for the invite." So we were like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." Whichever one. But we just shortened it to TFTI and leave it as TFTI so that people don't, yeah.
But no, I think it's a good time, and it fits in well too.
Yeah,
fits in well. Because you're like,
everybody, come on in.
Yeah, come on, anyone.
Yeah.
No,
we do conspiracy talks on there too. I forgot on that. I see the alien so much, and we do a lot of Daniel Lyrical calls it my rants, and he's just like this is just going off about things he hears, you know. And I'm like, yeah, it's interesting though.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you can go on a tangent on a rant, it just makes the episode better.
Yeah, I agree.
As proven in the title of this show.
Yeah, for real.
No, because me and my mates, we would usually go, to a Marvel movie, and then after going to a Marvel movie, we would just dissect the whole thing for nearly an hour outside the theater, and just rant it, and like this and this, and we just used to rant on it, rant on about it. So when I go start this, I was like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna rant about? I was like, I will coin that.
We have to have rant in there. Have to.
Yeah. So
I love the name.
Thank you. And lucky enough, I couldn't find any other podcast or show that had the same name.
See, and you did the smart thing. So you actually looked for Lights, Camera, Rant. I didn't look for TFTI. No. I was like, I didn't even think we were going to keep going. I didn't think, but I was just like, we'll see. And then we got contacted by 2 TFTIs. And I was like, one of them was kind of like, oh, they stole our name, whatever. And I was like, we didn't. Like, you're a different podcast, whatever. And then there was another one that talked about us on another podcast. And then they hit us up. So one of our fans from California hit us up. Hey, they're talking about you on this podcast. And I was like, there's no way. Like, and a podcast from Las Vegas was like, yeah, there's another podcast named TFTI. And they were like shouting us out though, like being cool. They're comedians. And they were like, it's cool, they're like a bunch of nerds and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I guess we're kind of nerds, And so we were like, that's when they said that, we were like, that's definitely us. Like, and so we contacted them and we hit it off. We're really good friends now. Like really, really, me and Freddie.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But we didn't look. So the fact that you looked is awesome because I wish I would have looked and maybe would have had a different name, but I'm glad I didn't because I would have never met Freddie. I'm guessing a lot of people wouldn't have even found us this way either. And TFTI kind of stands out, but you did the smart thing by looking it up first, Lights, Camera, Rant, because I like the name a lot, and I'm glad nobody else has it.
Well, I just got worried because I'm like, I don't want to do the logo, I don't want to do all of that, and then 2 weeks later, 1 week later, I goes, you stole my logo, you stole this, you got to change it. I'm like, oh, stuff, But there was. There's Monday shout outs every single Monday. I've been doing them for nearly 2 years now. I only had one bad experience from doing it. And
someone didn't like it?
No, it caused an argument.
What?
It caused an argument and some really bad messaging too.
Yeah. So from you shouting them out.
Yeah, so what happened was I shared someone out. They were a fresh podcaster. She was lovely, and she had a couple episodes, and I listened to it, liked it, and I shared it out. And then another podcaster with the same name messaged and commented on the page and said, blah blah blah, she stole our name, we've tried so hard at building our show and blah blah blah. And then one of the guys' wives commented as well on the post saying how bad it was. And then the woman I shouted out, she also said to me that they messaged her and gave her a hard time about it and like wasn't very nice about it.
Oh my gosh.
So she blocked them, and I got rid of the other podcast. I deleted their comments and I unfollowed them and got rid of them too.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I know. I was like, what the like, Jesus. Like, what? It's just a shout out. You could just like, hey, we have the same name. Would you kindly?
And not just go on a rant. Well, I mean, your podcast is rant. So they kind of did bring some of the themes to you and they were ranting about the name. Maybe not exactly how you wanted it, but
No, I was, and I felt terrible because I was like, I brought this to light.
But see, that's on them though, because they're the ones who were being salty about it. You were being nice, and they're the ones who went about it being negative. Because like, you don't got to say nothing about it. Like, you shout at some other podcasts, like just because they have the same name doesn't mean you have to be rude or mean or be like, I don't like this. It's like, hey, well, then move on, like you don't got to see it,
No, and you're right. People do stink.
Yeah, Game
Yeah.
Junction. 100%
Also,
right.
you also have a new follower too.
Hey, thank you, Game Junction. I appreciate that.
But yeah, I just couldn't believe because I posted it, and because of the time difference, I didn't see it when I went to bed. I woke up and then I saw the comments. I was like, "What the?
Like, what is this?"
Yeah, no. God,
No,
just be
it'll
grateful.
surprise, right? You get a lot. Do you get a lot of hate comments or people saying stuff about you either on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere?
No, not Touchwood, not majorly.
Yeah.
Probably the most little thing I do get is when I pronounce things wrong, or I make like I did, or what I did. I saw Aquaman. I went to the premiere for Aquaman the other day, and I did a small short on YouTube, and I thought, oh no, what's everyone talking about how Aquaman's gonna be shit. So I started off my short saying Aquaman is absolute piece of shit, but then I cut the frame really quickly and said, look, now I have your attention. The film is actually blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And the comments were like, you're a hypocrite.
Oh man.
Is the movie shit? Do you enjoy pieces of shit?
Bro.
And then someone actually commented going, this was obviously clickbait. You guys all got into that. I'm like, the fact that you comment, I win.
Yeah.
The fact you viewed and comment, I win. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't even got to reply. I win already. You commented on this. This is done.
I know. Yeah.
It's crazy how people kind of get mad too at like your taste or like if you like something and then all of a sudden they get like super mad that you like it. It's like, how could you like something I hate? Why would you do that? It's like, I'm sorry, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
How dare you? That offends me that you like that.
It's like come on.
Like anyone would think you're a review show, that you're reviewing this.
For real.
Yeah.
That's how offended they get.
Yeah. And I'm just a keyboard warrior. God. But no, that was probably the most recent one I could think of. I was like, one of the first comment was, you're a hypocrite. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I even said, now I have your attention.
Yeah. Some people.
But yeah, look, let's dive into some pop culture news. Which, as I mentioned, we've got some. You're a Scream fan?
I love Scream. Is one of my favorite horror franchises in general, but horror franchises. Yeah, I love Scream.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel that just today it announced the fact that Scream 7's director has dropped out?
I haven't read on why, but I did read that he dropped out. It sucks too because I read that he said it sucks that I have to. My dream job. This was my dream job, and I have to turn it down or something like that. Quit his dream job.
His tweets.
Yeah, but I think I think at this point, I mean, shit. I don't know. I'm really like, I just don't see how they can come back from any of this because you got two of your main stars drop, right? And then I can't even feel I don't even want to go see it if you bring oh my gosh, her name's Cindy Prescott. What's her name on the what's her real name? Nev Campbell.
That's Nev Campbell. Yeah.
So it's even bringing her back to me would be wrong because you didn't want to pay her what she was worth before. She like she was the face of the Scream franchise, and they were like, whatever, we're not going to pay you. So the fact that they didn't want to do that was already, to me, I already didn't like it, right? But the movies were good, doing good. I like Jenna Ortega, and I liked the other lead actress. But now kind of seeing them both gone. Yeah, Maria Barrega.
Yeah.
And seeing them both gone, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what you can do.
No, you can't reboot. You can't reboot it again. And I did walk into Scream 6 thinking, oh, what's this going to look like, without Nev Campbell?
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was too bad. I didn't say when I finished watching it, I was like, oh, you could glaringly see she was missed.
Yeah.
It was more just like, I know she's done with all this.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it. They
It's a
did a
new
pretty good job.
generation.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job of, even though it was messed up behind the scenes, they did a good job in the movie of passing the torch.
Yes,
But now I don't know.
but
I don't know now.
they're just gonna they've just gonna can it. If you lose a director, you've lost your two mains. Yeah, nah. Get
What
rid
do
of that.
do?
Oh,
And the storyline is so huge too. Like, she's Billy's daughter. Like, that's, you don't just be like, well, we're gonna do something. Like, you just can't. Like, unfortunately. And I love Scream. That's the thing that sucks, is like, I also went in kind of going, I don't know how these movies are gonna be without Nev, but I thought they were good. I'm like, I want to keep watching. I love Jenna. I love Maria. Like, let's keep it going. And so now I'm just like, I don't think it's gonna work out the way they want it to anymore.
no,
And like you said, you can't reboot Scream. Scream was the perfect laid out franchise to keep going, maybe forever, but for a long time. Like,
it's a generation movie.
yes, like, you could keep it going because the killer can always be inspired, and you can always create different storylines where even if you don't like it, you go like, but I get it. It can kind of make sense. Where other horror movies can't really do that. Like, there's an end point.
Yeah.
So rebooting this would just be a slap at the Scream franchise's face.
No, they're just going to end the project. I can't think of a way that you're going to make this and people are going to be happy.
They're
Like,
not.
there's no exit. You just have to let the franchise be done for now until something works out in the future. But, give it 10, probably maybe 10 years and then hit the reboot button.
Yeah, give it some time and then see how. But again, it's just like, but it's like you kind of still go like, but it didn't really end. You're like, I don't know. It's just so, Scream is so meta that, like, it can work, but also it can't work. Like, it has, like, I don't know. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. Yeah. No, Game Junction, you're right. They rebooted the series, but I'm talking about the movies. Like, it can work in that sense that, like, yeah, they did it in a show. I didn't care for the show. I tried watching it and it wasn't bad, but I love the movies. And the movies to me, the what?
No, I was gonna say, no one I know liked the TV show. No, a single Scream fan I know liked the show.
I saw 1 or 2 episodes and it was, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good enough for me to want to keep watching it. Like, I was just like, I like the movies. The movies are where it's at. And again, that's not saying you could do it. They did a show and they reboot it, but it just doesn't really work. Like it. I'm sorry. Like, it just and if you do it in the movies, it's gonna be worse, in my opinion. In my opinion, at least.
Yeah, it will. That's the hard thing, and studios wants to make money right now. It's anything legacy IP, but with the director gone, it's dead in the water.
Yeah.
The MTV Productions actually put some production of the show. Wait, all the set stuff from it looked great. It just never liked this.
Okay. I like the meta. Well, the fact that Game Junction said that it's kind of meta, I kind of been interested in kind of maybe checking it out more. Because I like Scream. I love Scream. So I'll check out the show. I'll check out the first season and see. I'll check it out. I'll give it an honest opinion without me just hating on the first 2 episodes. I'm gonna give it an honest check out. Because I did like they had little Scream Queens that I kind of thought was Scream. I kind of thought they were mimicking off of that, and that was a good show.
That was good. Yes, I saw a couple of episodes, and that was good because that's got the chick from American Horror Story, isn't it?
Emma Roberts.
That's it. Yeah,
Emma Roberts. Yeah, she wasn't. I think I don't remember if it was 2 or 3 seasons. The last season wasn't that good, but the first season, man, great. Yeah. So that's why I at the time Scream the show came out, Scream Queens came out. So when I saw the first 2 episodes of Scream, I was like, and then Scream Queens, I was like, I'm gonna stick with this one. And then they got canceled, and I was like, well, fuck, that sucks.
Stuff it.
Yeah,
I'll just go in. Now I know it's. How about Yeah. Yeah. How about we talk about the biggest thing in Marvel this past week, that Jonathan Majors has been found guilty and he has been dropped by Marvel at this stage, and he's been dropped from everything else as well. And right now, Marvel is in complete limbo.
Yeah. I didn't even with everything that was coming out with the case, I was like, oh, he's not gonna be found guilty because like they have the driver, they have all these people saying like, well, he didn't do nothing, it was the female. And so when it came out that he was guilty, I was like, oh snap, like that's it. Like Marvel's gonna cut him. Like that's like,
Yeah.
and the thing about that though, I will say is as big as Kang was supposed to be, he never felt big, you know? So I don't feel like I feel like the essence of Kang will be missed, but I don't think Kang will be missed because he didn't create a threat. There was more talk about Kang being a threat than you actually saw him being a threat within the MCU.
Mm.
Ant-Man, we can take that for example. That was our first time we saw Kang, and
In a movie, yeah.
in the movie. And so that was the first time you're like, okay, we like Ant-Man needs to die. I love Paul Rudd and I love Ant-Man, but I'm like, he needs to die. Like, I need to see Kang needs to come out being like, you're all afraid of me. Like, he's gone there being like, I've killed Avengers. Have I killed you before? You know, like to me, I'm like, yo, like this man is, you know. And so the fact that it ended the way it did, and they were like, he got beaten by ants. I was like, and the movie was just a setup for like, oh, they're introducing Cassie Lang for the new Young Avengers. And it was, to me, I was like, what do y'all like? There's too much setup, too many things going on that you missed out on who Kang was. And so I in my opinion, it's gonna suck that we don't get to see Jonathan Majors' performance as Kang and seeing him as a big villain and a big baddie. But I don't think we've been giving enough to actually really like. Imagine if it was Thanos, like, you know, like before Infinity War, like you'd be like, like you'd be heartbroken, and even Marvel would be like, I don't know, we like, no, we got to keep it, you know, like it's too late, like we but there was no threat with Kang at all. Like, I mean,
no,
it wasn't
the biggest, Ant-Man could have gone different ways. I did see a rumor that I did see a report that the original script was Ant-Man was going to die, but they reshot the scene so he could live.
Yeah, no, the test shots, the test footage or something like that. They didn't like it. They didn't like that he died, so they redid it.
Yeah. And look at, I feel the thing is, Jonathan Majors, I do feel that every scene he has been in as Kang, he is nailed it out of the park. Like, you have that fear that in a blink of an eye, he could just F up everybody. Or he's already, you know, five moves ahead already. And everything that's happening, he's already know what's going to happen. And, you know, in Loki, he was fantastic in Loki. Season 1 and season 2. And from an actor who broke a box office record at the beginning of the year of an actor being at the #1 box office for a certain amount of consecutive weeks in a row because of Ant-Man and Creed 3, because they came out at the same time.
Yeah.
To now to this. And look, I've already seen people putting up posters like, oh, Will Smith has been contacted to be Kang, or this person's been contacted. I'm like, no. Marvel obviously has a contingency plan for this because what happened, because I think it was in March or something he was going to go to court.
Yeah.
And there is multiple things Marvel can do, and I have no doubt whatever's going to happen, Marvel's still going to kill it. They may recast Kang.
Yeah.
And the terrible thing is, it fits because you're like, oh, it's just a variant.
Yeah, it can 100% work.
It's just a variant. We actually didn't see the real Kang. You know, Spider-Man's variants are all different.
Yeah, that's why, like, to me, I'm just like, well, his performance is great. So that's the one thing is that you can't take from Jonathan is like his performance and him as an actor is going to be really hard to to try to redo, because it's just, you're just not gonna be able to do it, right? So you have to try to figure out a different Kang, but they can get away with that. They can get away with the variant, like you said, and just cast a whole different actor, and then boom, that's it, done. Infinity,
That's
like that's
all.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an easy fix for Marvel. And when they heard the news, when in February, March, they've been planning on like different scenarios.
Yeah,
So
they've got a plan. And I
yeah.
did see someone tweeted, I forgot his name. Finn from Star Wars.
Oh, John Boyega.
Yeah, John Boyega,
Yeah,
about replacing Kang, and I think his tweet was a GIF going,
yeah, like nah, not doing this.
"Nah, not doing this." And the thing is, he would do it. I feel like he would do a great job.
Yeah, for sure. I think he wouldn't do it out of respect to Jonathan Mayers. I think that's what it would be. But he would kill it. I like John Boyega. He would do a good job.
Yeah, he would. I think so. I think he would too. But I understand you might have been very hurt from Star Wars. So to jump into a major franchise, juggernaut machine again, where
it might not come out the way it was supposed to be planned. Because they messed him up on Star Wars. That was like we need Finn back, and we need justice for Finn, because they really ruined that character for me. I loved Finn. He should have been a Jedi at the end. I'm sticking with that. He should have been wielding that lightsaber like he was on Force Awakens. He should have been the next one. Like they just ruined the movie, ruined Finn.
it did, and I know that's probably one of the biggest things is with that trilogy is just
it's done. It's garbage.
With it. Yeah,
I don't like the trilogy, and I love Star Wars, and that trilogy has ruined Star Wars for me. And I tried so hard, like I tried loving it. I really did. Like I was like, no, episode 7 was okay. It's not bad. Episode 8's gonna be great. Well, episode 9 can't be worse. It was worse, but it was bad.
Yeah,
it was hard.
And not only that, but I always say this every time, like people may complain about the Mandalorian as much as they want. The show is meant to be this. I'm like, you respect the man that saved Star Wars. Doesn't matter what happened after, but if it wasn't because of Mandalorian, we'd still be up shit creek.
You're 100% right on that. Because Mandalorian gave everybody that confidence on Star Wars is coming back, baby. Okay, it started falling off a little bit, but you got to give it to Mandalorian though, because Mando killed it for sure. We were obsessed with Mando when it first came out. We were locked in every week.
Same. I remember seeing the first trailer and I go looking at it going, this looks sick. This looks different. This looks gritty.
Yeah.
Star Wars, and the fact it was after episode 6, so you don't have to worry about that trash. And then we got Luke back, we got Ahsoka, we got Anakin back, we got all this, and you're like, wow, this is really what should have been. This is what should have been.
100%.
Let's intro the show. Where all can I follow you? Yeah, where can we find you, man?
I'm on Instagram as TFTI Podcast, YouTube TFTI Podcast on YouTube, and then you can also follow mine on Instagram. It's Spectre, SPEKTRE Studios. That's where my film stuff is. I'm a filmmaker, so my movie's on there.
I need to watch that.
It's on Amazon. I'll send you a link. I have it's on Tubi. It's on Amazon. It's on Plex. It's for free on YouTube. It's free on everywhere too, but it's on YouTube as well for free. I put it up on there after it got on Amazon. So yeah, check out 6. My poster's right over there. That one right there.
Is that on the right hand side?
Yeah, next to the.
Okay, I was gonna say, isn't that the Man v Superman poster?
No, right next to it. Yeah, no, I wish the one next to it. But yeah, you can find me. Follow me there. TFTI or Thanks for the Invite podcast. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We're on there, guys.
I'll have to check out your movie. Actually, you know what? I should watch your movie and then get you on the show to review it.
Hey, let's do that. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
That'd be great. Definitely do that. Yeah, Jonathan Majors, Marvel's gone. Going back to that, I feel like we're going to hear nothing from Marvel until D23 next year.
You think they're gonna do like what you call it? Give us like what's next
Yeah,
and kind of wash it away with Jonathan Majors from there?
yeah, I think so because they're going to announce Fantastic Four.
Mm,
We're only getting one Marvel movie next year, so I think the next Comic Con they'll announce Fantastic Four and they'll give an inkling what's going to happen next.
yeah,
But
that's good.
if it was me, and if I could go, if I could be Kang, I'd be on Marvel. I'd be like, you need a man, I can do it. You want me a 10-year contract? I'll do it. Just
I'm there.
you want you want to be 50 variants of me? Done. I don't care. The fact that you're going to be the next major villain in this is just take it.
Mm-hmm.
There's also another theory I've heard they're going to, which I think this is not going to happen either. They're going to fast track introducing Doctor Doom to shift it to Doctor Doom.
I've heard that rumor too. I mean, I don't know how they would really have to fast track that with Fantastic Four and then but I don't know because there hasn't been any buildup for a threat. That's why I would, there's no, but we're still in the Kang Dynasty stuff right now, and so, and then
yes,
and then the Avengers 5 got changed to just Avengers 5 too. So like, I don't know. I haven't had hope for Marvels recently. The last few other projects have just been disappointing, and I feel like they haven't put the creativeness everywhere. Thanks, Game Junction. I'm gonna follow you back. I don't feel like they put the creativeness forward. I feel like they need to put creativeness forward now. I feel like that's where they've been falling off recently, where they've just been kind of like, I don't know. It just hasn't been hitting like pre-Endgame. Everything pre-Endgame, I was excited for. I was like midnight premieres. I was there. We were right there, man. And now it's just like, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
And that's fair. I think that's a lot of Marvel fans at the moment. I'm really getting sick of people going, Marvel's dead. It's down right. Just do a reboot. I'm like, they're not going to reboot. They're not. They have a plan. They're going to keep going. And look, it could just be one of those things that I think what really shook them. Oh, it didn't work out I think it's because of COVID. Like, because you look at WandaVision, you look at Falcon, you look at Hawkeye. They're all solid, but all the shows after that are a little bit wonky. And I think because COVID spread everyone out, short-staffed, and same thing with the movies. It just, having that well-oiled machine just became a bit separated. So now, post-COVID, hopefully, because I think I'm pretty sure I think Marvel's is still partly COVID too. I think that's still obviously when they got shot.
Yeah, I think they said that they had some of it they were shooting some of it still during some of the COVID procedures and stuff like that going on.
Yeah, and then and then we get Deadpool that gets struck by actor strike.
Yeah, right in the middle too. It's like, and they were still like, we're gonna keep shooting, but we can't rewrite anything. I'm like, like,
yeah, you can't ad lib anything.
Yeah, it's like that sucks. Like, okay, but I'm glad that I'm glad that they're actually
taking the time.
Everything post Endgame has been boring. Yeah, I agree. We're full of. I know James Gunn said it, but like we are. It's just we're a lot of these movies are just cameo porns now, bro. We're like,
I know. I mean, I saw that as a cameo porn. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Still addicted. Still heavily addicted.
Because people wait for like who's gonna show up. Ooh, who's the cameo? Who's gonna be in this movie? And that sucks because like now movies, it's harder for movies to stand on their own. Like, I mean, even DC does that shit. I hate that they use Wonder Woman as their cameo porn as well. Like every movie, Wonder Woman. It's like,
I saw that. I saw that on someone's TikTok. It was like, oh, we need a cameo. Wonder Woman.
Yeah, for real, man. That's what it feels like. And I'm just kind of like, I want I think we all wanted too much of the connections of the movies,
Mm,
and I think that's been the downfall of the comp. I think that's why. So
mm,
I don't necessarily think comic book. I do think comic book movies are starting to die down, but I don't think they're dead. I think people are becoming less interested because they're so connected, and they're like, I don't want to do homework. I don't want to do all these things, right? But even when you watch the movie, it feels like you're like, wait, what? Like, wait, who's that? Wait, oh, and everyone's like, oh, well, that's from the show, and this, and it's just like
mm,
it feels so like it just doesn't feel connected with the audience. Where like you have
mm,
movies like, I'm just gonna put an example like The Joker. It stands on its own.
mm,
You can just watch it and be like, okay, this is the Joker, and it stands on its own. Like there's no universe
mm,
connected. Even the Guardian movies, like besides Guardians 3 that had Thor in the beginning, like none of the movies are really connected. They're just so happen to be in the MCU, but they're
mm.
not, they don't feel like Spider-Man do. Like I'm sorry, but the Spider-Man movies just feel like he's in Tony Stark's world the whole time. It's
Ah,
always, I've never felt Spider-Man. The only time I
yeah.
ever felt Spider-Man is at the very, very end of No Way Home,
Yeah.
where he's swinging in his suit and you see him get his apartment. I was like,
Mm,
and he's swinging in New York City. I was like, yo, this is Spider-Man. Everything else is just, it feels like he's in Tony Stark's world. It feels like
yeah.
Spider-Man's just in the MCU world. It never feels like he's in New York and Spider-Man's world. It never feels,
Mm.
at least to me, it never felt that way.
No, no, no. And I completely understand, especially the first two films. Especially the first two films are Iron Man, Shadow. And that's why, yeah, so that's why I'm excited about Spider-Man 4, because I feel like, you've had the high school,
Mhm.
college, he's gone through all that. So Spider-Man 4, he'll be, you know, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
He's living out of home. He's done all the stumbles and the falls, and he should go. He can be Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
especially if
Spider-Man. Yeah.
they bring in Miles Morales, I think that would be such a good tie-in to the original trilogy. That like
Mhm.
he was looking for Iron Man, and now he gets to do the same thing to Miles and
Yeah.
be like, look, if I give you some glasses, if I invite you to Berlin, if I, if if there's some kind of like random villains, yeah, just stay away from all of that. Just go fight people like Kingpin. Like,
Yeah.
just stay really low,
At street level, please.
please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I do got faith for the new Spider-Man because, like you said, I do feel these three were kind of like a one. Like it felt
yeah,
like a one.
like a
And
high school movie.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And so I do feel with it, hopefully the next Spider-Man 4 would be a brand new trilogy where we can actually feel like put it into Tom Holland's Spider-Man at the end.
mm.
That would be great. And he'll be the most, we'd have 6 movies. That'd be great.
Yeah, and like he said himself, like he's happy to come back as long as the story does really good.
Mhm.
All I could think of is if they try and bring in the Green Goblin, you just get like, is he gonna freak out and be like, "Hi, I'm Norman Osborn"? Like, oh shit.
I already know
Uh,
what's gonna happen. Oh, that's true. That would be crazy because he already
yeah,
knows. Like he's like, oh, and same
yeah,
with Dr. Octavius. Like he'd be like, oh, like
yeah, yeah,
he would be really self-aware about what's gonna happen. Oh, that's crazy.
yeah. Hi, Peter. Meet these two doctors. They've just started here in New York. Dr. Octavius and Norman Osborn.
Oh man. I never thought about that, but that would actually, I actually would like to see that now to see how he would actually go around having to be like, well, I can't let them know that they're not villains yet. Like I don't know what to
Yeah.
do.
Well, it could be also one of those things where they, self-fulfilling prophecy. He tries
Mhm.
everything not to make him super villains, but it still happens.
Because of, oh, that's Spider-Man
Yeah,
4 could hit. Spider-Man
that's
4 could hit.
and I think it will, especially the fact if they also, because maybe they don't use those characters,
Mhm.
we can still see new characters like Mr. Negative
Oh
from the
yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Marvel's in a really good spot where they can go in the direction and give us fresh villains that we haven't seen before
Mhm. I'd like
on
to see
screen.
Rhino. I've like an actual really
Yeah,
good take on Rhino.
Yeah, again. Oh, look at some Iron Man tech that's falling off a truck and
Yeah,
around
no, I don't want that. Yes, I want like a
Yeah.
real. Give me that animated rhino. Like, make it silly, but
Yeah.
give me that animated rhino.
I know. As a classic ever comic reader, it's mostly the movie tropes. I love the MCU. I even love DC Masters moving outings, but I just want the best for all these films.
I agree.
So do we. Hellboy, some good. Ghost Rider's due for a reboot. Hellboy, we just need Hellboy 3. We don't need. Also, wish everything wasn't a shared universe. That's fair. I was good with the standalone Sony movies. Yeah, they were good. It's funny you say the standalone Sony movies because I have zero hope with Madam Web.
Same. I agree. And not. I just don't. I don't. It's just trailer just doesn't nothing. I don't know. Nothing about it looks good to me about it. I'll be honest with you. And I don't know. I just don't get why make this movie without.
I don't know why.
Like,
I don't. What's in Sony's mind? Like, this sounds really cool,
I don't. And then I don't know. I've like tried to defend it. Like I've tried to be like, well, maybe, and then I'm like, no, but no, and I'm just like, Now again, I am somebody that I'm not gonna say the movie's bad until I see it, but like just from the trailer itself, I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be that good. I think it's gonna flop. Like, I think the thing that movies miss is how to create characters, and they're just forcing you to like characters. And I feel like on here, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not that excited for this movie.
Nah, neither am I. And even when we got the first trailer for Kraven the Hunter, I was like, yeah, just without Spider-Man, I don't really give a shit.
Same. It just. I just don't get what I don't get what Sony's doing. Like I get like they have a deal with Marvel, I mean with Disney, but like I'm almost certain you can use your Spider-Man in your movies, but they don't want to like I guess I don't know. I just think stop making these villain movies without Spider-Man. I want Spider-Man. We got Venom already, we got Carnage, now we're getting Madam Web, the Kraven the Hunter. Like, come on, man. Like and you remember when they released that they were going to try to do that Aunt May movie?
Yes. Bro. Yes, that's right. Yeah. I don't know. Sony, the thing is, because Sony needs to produce these films to maintain the licensing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with what Fox had to do with X-Men. But come on. Like, and there was also a wrestler movie they were going to make that actually got cancelled. About one of the Spider-Man's villains that's a wrestler. And I'm like,
with Bad Bunny playing.
Yeah, with Bad Bunny.
And Muerte, I think that was the call.
Yeah, I mean, why? God. Who is clamoring for this? Who asked you? Who's in the office going, yeah, I got something really good you're going to like here.
Hey, what are the fans asking for? Spider-Man. Oh, Kraven the Hunter. We should make a movie of Kraven the Hunter. No one's asked for it on Twitter. Everyone's been saying Spider-Man, but we'll give him Kraven the Hunter for now.
Yeah, we'll give Kraven the Hunter. I like Madam Web. No expectations. For the movie. No.
I like Sydney Sweeney. So
yes,
I'm very excited for that part. For sure.
I think that she's in that. I think that's cool. And the only saving grace for me that I'm going into this is like, okay, we're gonna see potentially an evil Spider-Man.
Yeah. I would like to if they could dig deep into. So I'm still gonna see it, and again, same with Game Junction, like no expectations whatsoever. But I would still like to see maybe if they go into like like the backstory of the Spider-Man, like how he's a villain, how he's a bad guy, if it's actual, if he's traveling through multiverses or. But it's just confusing me too, like the whole like she's dying and coming back, and he keeps killing them. Like to me, I'm just like, okay, like, all right.
Well, what I think is why don't they, like I'm sure they'd be fine to use it, but why don't they try make Spider-Man 2099 with Miguel?
That would be dope.
Like that, I'm sure that like that's that you can have that so far away from Marvel, but at the same time could connect. You get a different Spider-Man, different setting. It's in the future.
Boom! You got a good movie, and who wouldn't want to see that? I would love to see that.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people would.
Yeah, I want to see a jacked Spider-Man in the future that for some reason is also a part of Vampire, which I
Yeah.
can't remember why.
I don't know either.
Yeah, give me that.
That'd be dope.
But no, Sony's like, nah, you want the B villains, you want them.
Yeah.
Star Wars fans, unfortunately, Andor has reported that's been pushed. Season 2 has been pushed back to 2025, which is interesting because there is very little on what Star Wars' release date is next year for its shows. We were meant to get another Star Wars live action show this side of the Christmas, but it's been pushed back to next year, which is called Wrecking Crew.
Oh yeah.
And it's still set in the Mandoverse. But I like how the fact we've got no release. At least by this time last year, we knew we were getting Ahsoka. But now we have no Star Wars TV show that we know of. Like, not even Visions Season 3. Haven't heard anything about that. And yeah, the show that's coming out. I'm like, guess we'll just have to wait till March or something for it.
They're probably restructuring a lot of stuff in Star Wars and and Marvel just in general. That's probably what we're not hearing a lot.
Well, now that Dave Filoni's now in charge. Thank God.
Yeah, take it down the right path, please, Dave.
Please get rid of Catherine Kennedy.
Yeah,
anyway.
please.
Yeah. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Warner Brothers and Paramount are discussing a merger, and it's terrible. The first thing I saw, I was like, "Good, one app."
Yeah.
One streaming app.
Would be one. Seriously.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that you're gonna see more now of companies merging or companies getting bought up.
I think that's I'm not big on that, to be honest, but just because of the fact of like, then you have one company who's in control of like so many different, lovable IPs. So like, if Warner Brothers does this, they're gonna. I mean, I was watching the list. I mean, they're gonna have so many movies that includes Ninja Turtles too, Nickelodeon. Like, holy snap!
Top Gun, Star Trek.
You got so much, and so yeah, you could do a lot, but also it's like Warner Brothers used to be the Top Gun back in the day, and now I'm like, I don't trust Warner Brothers with my life right now. Like,
no.
They don't know what they're doing, and it's like now you want us to trust them with all these IPs. I'm like, they don't even know how to treat DC right. Like, come on, they can't get it together.
Yeah, we're gonna make a Star Trek film. We're gonna have Zack Snyder come in only for one movie, and then we're gonna get rid of him and give another director.
A whole different style after that too.
Yeah, a whole different style, and all the movies in future will barely connect. And when we announce a movie, it will take another 10 to 15 years to come out.
Jeez, that's Warner Brothers in a nutshell for you.
Yep. But yeah, Warner Brothers Paramount might be merging. They're in discussions, but nothing's concrete at this stage, as we were seeing with the whole Activision and Blizzard acquisition from Microsoft. These things can take a very long time to actually take in full effect. Now, this is speaking of Zack Snyder, he recently said that he would love to make a Fortnite movie. I don't know how you'd make a Fortnite movie. I don't know. Like, would it be like Gamer? No, the one with Steven Spielberg that's really good.
Oh, Ready Player One. Ready Player One. No. See, I also thought I can't really think. Even my son too. He's a big Fortnite fan, and he's like, I don't know how they would make a story. Like, he's like, what would the movie be? And I'm like, I mean, you'd have to focus on like the main Fortnite characters, like the blonde dude and like the other, the defaults, And I don't know, maybe like, I don't know. I don't even know, to be honest, bro. Like, how? And then you have all these other, because you said like now it kind of turns into Ready Player One because you have all these skins, all these different skins on there. Yeah. So like you have everyone, fighting the Ninja Turtles and Batman's around the corner.
I know. Every time I watch gameplay, I'm like, I think if you try to describe this game to someone about 10 years ago, and by the way, there'll be a game that's a shooter, And from one moment, you're versing Goku to versing Peter Griffin to versing John Wick, Turtles, Bender from Futurama, and it will all make sense.
And you'll be building houses at the same time. What?
Yep, and there'll be a dome that slowly in the same game, you'll be able to watch concerts.
Yes, and play Guitar Hero.
Yeah, and Lego.
What? Yeah, and each skin you can buy different people on. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah. No, it's coming. Don't you worry.
Because if you told me this 10 years ago, not okay. If you told me this, maybe over 10 years ago, I would be like, how are you going to get all these licensings? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. How are you going to get all of these characters into one game without going broke? They did it. That's called Fortnite, guys. It's called Fortnite.
Damn right. And I always loved, I love telling people, people who don't know this, is that Fortnite was never meant to be this.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite was a zombie game originally.
Really?
So the first trailer, it was meant to be a zombie horde builder. So it's still the building aspect, you still had your team, but it was meant to be like zombies were just trying to get to you and you had to build a bigger base every time.
Oh, that makes sense of the building now.
So
that always felt so random to me.
Yeah, that's for the building modes in there. So you can still go on YouTube and go watch the original trailer. And it is nothing
I'm gonna look
like now.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. Fortnite, I don't... As in, you don't know about a Fortnite movie or Fortnite as a game?
I think maybe as the movie. But so my son says that if there's one movie that he wishes Zack Snyder would direct that's a video game, it's God of War.
Oh,
he says after seeing 300, he's like, my son's like, Zack Snyder would make, he goes, not the same style as 300, but knowing that he can do that with like those type of, like Spartans, he's like, oh, now imagine what he can do with like everything God of War has, and then creating that. He's like, oh, I'm like, yo, that would be dope.
He could really pull that off.
I think so.
But at the same time, I do have confidence the fact that streaming rights are at Amazon.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're making a God of War TV show.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they're making a God of War TV show. I think it's still in the writing phase. So no cast, no nothing. But Amazon bought the streaming rights.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Which is why as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, thank God it hasn't gone to like Netflix or.
Oh, for real, bro. Netflix has been lately. Like they have some really good movies here and there for sure, but like a lot of their like originals is like where you can tell like they just bought the crew and they're like, here's the script, go shoot it. It's like, okay.
It's a hit and miss. You get TV shows like Wednesday, they're really good, and you get the One Piece live action is good. Another movie that we're about to talk about, and then you see the other stuff in between. I'm like, this is garbage.
You know what a good app is? It's a really hidden gem, and people they shit on this app a lot, but I'm going to give everybody a hidden gem. Check out Tubi. Seriously, they have the best movies because they have nothing but old movies of 2000s, 1990s, like old school funny comedy movies that like you would just watch with your friends, action movies. Like I find movies on there that I'm like, oh, that's random. Like just the most randomest movies, but it's such a cool, like I know Tubi gets hate because like I know on TikTok they always show like these like really bad movie scenes, but if you actually go to Tubi, I've watched more movies on Tubi the last month than any other app. And I just did it because I was like, what's here? Let me see what they got for free. Like everyone's always shitting on Tubi. Let me actually see. I've not watched any, and it's just nothing. I mean, they don't got like new movies. I mean, except for Warner Brothers because they're going broke. So all their DC catalogs on Tubi now. But like
really
everything, their whole catalog, they have a whole DC section. Everything, all their new movies, everything is on Tubi from DC. Yeah, but Tubi's a hidden gem, guys. Seriously, check out Tubi. Like if y'all have Tubi, hidden gem. They got the old school movies.
Oh, I'll have to give that a watch. Oh, sorry, I'll have to go check that out. Because I have heard of Tubi, but every time I've heard about it, everyone just says This is where you go try and find movies that you can't find. They're obscure, or you're looking for like the most randomest shit of a movie.
It still fits. It still fits in there. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I could definitely see Zack Snyder doing God of War. But yeah, Fortnite movie.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, but then
For
again,
no director.
insane. Sorry.
No, like for no director, a Fortnite movie. Like I just couldn't see it happen.
Yeah. Nah. Like in saying that, I keep forgetting that there is a Minecraft movie coming out with Jason Momoa. So anything is possible.
I forgot about that.
So did I until I saw it the other day. I was like, oh, that's right. That's a thing.
It is Rob from Sunny. Is he still directing it and writing it? Because he was attached to it. Rob, forgot his last name. It was Mac from Sunny, Philadelphia. From what I remember, he was attached directing and writing for the Minecraft movie for the longest. I don't know if he still is though.
I haven't got anything about the director, but they've got here that apparently Jason Momoa, Pedro Pascal, and Matt Berry.
Oh, I love Matt Berry. Matt Berry? I don't care what movie it is. Anything Matt Berry is attached to is going to be hilarious.
Father!
Father!
Good evening. Go back to your own country. What the
Bro,
I know.
I love Matt Berry. I've seen the Toast in London. The IT crowd is so funny. He gets a gun. A gun. I wonder if it's loaded. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. Father. Filming before filming was delayed. Okay, so filming got delayed because of the striking. Filming is reported having start early next year. And yep, for a 2025 release.
For Minecraft?
For the Minecraft movie, yeah.
That's gonna be very interesting. I'm very interested on how the trailer is gonna look to see like the movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I can't picture a movie Minecraft like.
Nah, neither can I. Neither can I. But at the same time, it's coming.
It makes it worse when they're like, "Oh, and Jason Momoa is in." I go, "That doesn't make it better." I definitely can't think of anything like you told me Elijah Wood's in it. I'm like, I guess I can maybe come up with an idea, but Jason Momoa, I'm like, I don't know now.
It would just be Aquaman 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
But with blocks.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh shit! But look, guys. That is the biggest news that's happened the past week. Let's get on to our review, which is to be one of the biggest action movies of this year, surprisingly, on Netflix, and the return of Zack Snyder in the directing chair, writing all together, which is Rebel Moon. So this movie has had a very checkered history because originally it was pitched to be a Star Wars film back in 2012 with Zack Snyder. And then it got pitched to WB, which said no. And now Netflix has picked it up. So what was your first reaction when this movie finished? What was your first thought?
When it was over?
When it was over.
My first thought, I really liked it. I really like when it was over, I was kind of like, okay, like I didn't love it, but I really liked it a lot. Like I was really like still like, okay, like this is a good movie. Like I came out just questioning more, just kind of under like me and my brother and my wife saw it, and so we were all asking questions about it. But like I don't know. I want to see more. Definitely left me wanting more. I do feel like it ended like a part one, like not a part one, like it didn't end like there was a continuation. You know how movies sometimes will end like okay, now we got to go fight or whatever like that. Yeah,
there's a key on this planet that we really need to get.
Yeah, yes, it didn't do that, and because of that, I felt like it'll stand down as a part one and part two, like a movie and a sequel instead of like a continuation, if that makes sense. And that was my fear, that it would end with like a continuation, like to be continued. Now, I'm not saying it didn't have some of that stuff, but it felt like a regular movie, you know. So
Yeah.
I actually I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah. What about you?
Also, spoiler alert for everyone. Spoilers left, right, and center, so no one
Okay,
gets
good.
really hacked up on anything. Um, when it finished, I was probably very much like yourself. I had a lot of more questions than anything
Mhm.
coming out. I was like, okay. I think because there is a lot for everyone who hasn't watched it yet. There is a lot of world building in this. There is so much. You have to really pay attention to. You can't just flick this on and just watch it.
Mhm.
You have to listen to all the dialogue because it's the only way it makes sense.
Seriously.
Um, but I found I was like that. I found it was like a good. That was a good action movie. But at the same time, you're right. I was like, I could finish that and be like, okay, everyone survived. Everybody lived. What's the need for number two except for the very last very last scene? But that wasn't even something to go. Oh, you really need to go. That was just go get
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
What? Go, just go get it. But how'd you find? Now, another big thing I will say to a lot of people was that I understand this was pitched to be a Star Wars film.
Mhm.
There was probably a little bit too much Star Wars.
Like in what sense? How did you feel?
A little bit too much Star Wars vibes, as in Ramgo on a farming planet, crash landed, isn't actually her real parents. You go to a bar, you found a scoundrel, he's got a ship, he's got cargo, he's going to screw you over. And
For sure.
in those parts, I was a little bit like, yeah, that's a little bit too much on the nose for me.
I can let that slide if it doesn't continue to feel like Star Wars. Because then if it does, then it goes like, oh, okay, this is too much Star Wars. You know, like
Yeah.
I can let it.
Star Wars by Netflix.
Yeah. I can let it slide right now because I'm okay. If you're building and it has the similarities, I'm cool with that. Everything, there's a lot of different stuff. But if part two comes in, I'm like, damn, this is still just Star Wars. Like, then I'd feel like, okay, I don't know if the first one was even as good. If it's just stealing so much of Star Wars, but I didn't feel that. I do feel similarities for sure. I felt some similarities to Star Wars for sure, of course. But I felt more. It's gonna be a weird take, but I felt
No.
more Bugs Life and like Magnificent Seven because like think about it. It felt more Bugs Life, bro. Think
I
about it.
did think about Bug's Life. Yes, you have to supply me with the food to feed everybody, and there's just one person. Oh my god!
Yep. And the crickets come down there, they're like, "You gonna give us all of it? I don't care."
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's like
Oh,
Finn is like, I gotta go find some people that some war. Like I legit was like,
yeah.
damn, like it was very like we're gonna go find warriors and stuff. And I was like, this is Bugs Life. Like I was like, holy shit, like, but obviously done just with action and whatnot. And but yeah,
Bug's Life.
yeah,
Bug's Life in space.
yeah, that's real. I mean, honestly, bro, like genuinely, it really is.
Yeah, I didn't even think that. But Sophia Bontella, I have to say, she is the perfect person for that main role. She does a fantastic job, and her action scenes. If anything, the action scenes in this movie look so good.
I think that's one thing that Snyder does really good that I feel like a lot of directors don't. And I'm not saying that there isn't directors that don't. Just a lot of my favorite movies are actually female led, and I don't even realize it. I'm like, when I was making my list, I was like, oh damn, these are all female led, and that's kind of like, the dude's such a good job at making a movie and writing the movie that you don't notice it. You just notice a good ass character and good story. And I like that with Snyder is that every time he creates a female character that's the lead or is this tough person, it's believable. It's never thrown or forced. Like there wasn't one time that I didn't believe she could do what she was doing in the movie. I was always like, yeah, she's a badass. Yeah. Every girl in the movie, like, homegirl with the sabers. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
she would wreck me. I'll be done. Like that. That's like it's so, and that's what I feel movies miss is that believe. And Snyder and a few other directors do such a good job at capturing that, and that's why she was amazing in the movie. She did such a good job on this movie, and they said the action scenes. I mean, they were badass because like you saw her still get some ass kicking, her ass kicked, but she was kicking ass and coming back, and you were just like, damn, like I'd be afraid to fight her. Like holy snap.
I know, and the thing is, she's not nothing. Well, I don't know how that would go down, but anyway, she's not jacked.
Yeah,
you know, she's not jacked, but she's nimble, and she like the scene with the military guys. She wrecked him.
It's all skill. That was great.
Utterly wrecked him.
And you saw their strength because like they showed you how strong they were when they got there, and then even when they were taking the girl in, and that they were pinning that guy down. Like you saw the strength. So like obviously you go like she's not gonna go in there picking these men up and like going Superman, but she's gonna kick some ass her way, and like she did. Like I mean, how small she was, and she was still able to kick ass and make it believable. Where I was like, yo, she would fuck me up. Like, oh my god, like. Such a good job, like and all the skills, the gun action she did, and the slides and the jumps, and just hit. I mean, I think phenomenal. Like, wow, she did great.
Yeah, she did amazing, and she's one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, I look forward to what's going to happen in part 2. I get, but you're right. The nemesis, the girl with the blades,
she's great.
I was like, I feel like someone like Zack Snyder just looked at rubbed out the sabers, just redrew him as blades, and like,
oh, for sure,
you still
sure. Well, yeah,
change anything.
100%. There's no way, because if it was a Star Wars pitched movie, then that would have been the Jedi of that story. So of course, like I was like, that was the lightsaber part. I was like, for sure, that was it.
Yeah,
but she did dope though.
She did, and the spider lady. Ugh.
Yeah, I liked her though. I really liked the action in the movie was great, man. Like it was just so good.
I did find it was not so, I don't know if it was just me, but I found like everything close, like the ships, everything they're walking past, that all looked fine. It just seemed for me anything in the distance looked a bit shaky or didn't look too crisp in the CGI.
Like the planets and stuff?
Yeah, just like seeing city in the distance, or something in the trees, or something like that. Just didn't seem a bit shaky to me, the CGI. But anything close looked fine.
I think the budget for the movie for both movies was like 120 million to shoot both of them back to back.
Higher.
What was it? 140.
Higher.
Is it under 200?
Yep.
Is it 180?
Or lower.
160?
$166 million.
All right. So both right?
films.
So to me, think about that's 80 each, 82, $83 million each, right? And so I think Zack Snyder did a good job at trying to put the CGI where it mattered, and like focusing on like, all right, we don't have as much money as like $200 million a movie, so let's make sure we put the CGI where it does matter, because there was parts that I also noticed the CGI was a little funky, but I was like, he really put where it mattered. Because it didn't, all the other parts to me, I left it alone because, like you said, the close-ups, the parts that really matter, the CGI was done amazing.
Yeah, the ships, all that looked fine. It was just almost, long distance shots.
I agree. Yeah, when they were on the planet with Ray Fisher, that's where the CGI was kind of like, okay.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like that planet, I was like, this looks entirely like you're just staying on a green screen.
100%. Yeah.
Like, well, the return of Ray Fisher, technically.
Awesome. Yeah, he was dope, bro. I loved his character on here, bro. I didn't
realize it was him at first.
I didn't know it was him until the movie. So all the trailers, I didn't even know it was him. Never until the movie. Like, I seen the character, but it wasn't when he came out. I was like, that's fucking Ray Fisher. I was like, how come I didn't? How I did not notice that in the beginning? I'm like, that's Ray fucking Fisher. That might have played a part at why I liked it so much, but like, I loved his part in the movie. I loved his character. He's a theater actor, so like you could tell that like really character driven acting came out with him. I really, really liked it.
Especially his last few scenes.
Yeah.
That they were really good. And I was actually surprised. Yeah, as I said, spoilers. I was surprised that he actually carked it. I was like, oh, I really thought you would have been more in this
Same.
band of rebels.
Same. I thought one because he was Zach's boy. I was like, he's definitely going to be in part 2. But then when that happened, I was like, bro, the 2 characters I was like attached to were Ray Fisher and Charlie Hunnam's characters. I was like,
Oh, I know.
ah! I was so angry, bro.
I was the same. I was like, oh, of course, he double crossed him. There's probably going to be a third double cross. And then at the same time, I was like, oh, no, you are not coming back for this part 2.
Yeah,
you're done.
Yeah, he was such a good character, man. I was so like, the farmer needed to do stuff. He needed to develop his character. I just hate that it had to be done on Homeboy. I was like, man, I really liked this character.
And it was quick too. It was just like done
fast. Yeah. There was no like last words. It was a straight just. I was like, fuck. I didn't even get the last words of him. I was like, damn it, man.
Oh, he can't talk now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was saying, and then you get Ray Fisher. Like, I got Ray Fisher left, and then a minute later, you're like, never mind.
Less than a minute, he's gone.
Yeah.
Well, of course, in Zack Snyder's fashion, this movie is PG-13. There will be a director's cut version, and that will be R-rated, and that is coming out before part 2.
Hey, heck yeah.
Which to me, I was like, I probably could have wanted to wait to watch this in R-rated because there was some scenes of like, sure, there's probably more blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she was taking down the military guys, I was like, there's probably should be more blood that how you're killing them and how you're stabbing them.
Yeah, for real. A lot of the scenes. Yeah, a lot.
It should be a little bit more. Noble Ed Skirren, the villain. He's just such a good villain. As soon as I saw him, I was like, yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah, such a good he's a Deadpool and Battle Alita, amazing villains, bro.
That's right. I forgot about Alita.
Yeah,
he just plays
that mohawk.
That's a movie that's meant to have a sequel. It's Dead in the Water.
Yeah.
But no, I think he did. Really, really good job, and a lot of his action was just with the cane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he did a good job with it. It was the cane was very scary. Every time he had the cane around after that first scene, I was like, did that scene not surprise you? Like,
yeah, it did.
I did not see that coming. I don't want to spoil it, so everybody watch it. But like that scene surprised me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay, we're in for a brutal awakening from this character. Like he means business.
I was surprised about that too. And all I could think of in that scene with Gunnar was shut the hell up. Shut up. Stop talking. Don't tell him you have more grain.
Yes, he just kept going and going. I was like, oh my gosh, bro. I was scared for him until I wasn't. Then I was like,
I thought he was going to die, but no, he was one of the characters that survived to the end. Now, maybe you might be able to answer me this question, or I missed it completely, or it's probably supposed to be lead to. But why is Cora so wanted?
I don't think they really told us. I think we're getting into it. She was a leader in there. Like we kind of got a little bit more of her backstory, and it ended with us knowing, like, at least as far as like her backstory, where like she was the guard of the princess. And that's where it really ends. And then
we didn't see the assassination. We didn't see the death. It's lured to that they brought in somebody and that someone killed him. But which could very much be Cora.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was one of the questions I had at the end. I'm like, they didn't really explain
The fugitive.
Why?
Yeah. No, because you didn't. I didn't even really know. I didn't know until the end. That's when they said it. Whenever Ed Serkin's character had her attached, and he's like fugitive wants about all this stuff, and I was like, holy shit. And then General Titus at the end asked her about it. Remember, he was
Mm,
like, "You're wanted and so and so and so," and she was like,
mm,
"Mind your business," pretty much. So
yeah.
I'm guessing on part 2 we'll get to know a lot more of that and why.
Mm.
That's leaving it as a mystery. Um, that's my opinion. 'Cause
Mm.
I don't think they gave anything else from that away.
No, they didn't give us a whole lot more about it, the motherland and
Mhm,
the worlds, the empire. There's so many scenes. There's so many things they talked about. I'm like, yeah, that's a scrubbed out line. That's a
mhm,
scrubbed out line rewrote.
mhm.
Um, but even at the ending when they were looking over at the village and they were like, oh, this is home. I'm like, it's about to get blasted.
Yeah, that's
I,
what I thought. I
I
thought
was like, this is gonna blow up. This is how it's gonna lead into number two. I was like, oh, they just all right, you just all rode off together.
mhm. You're like, "This is it? That's it?"
That's it.
And then you get
Enough.
that little scene, that little wild scene with Ed at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Which I thought was, I will admit, I did think it was cool with the cane
Mhm.
and the
Ooh,
ice cracking, and like he was still there.
yeah.
And he wants her, um, but I know. Yeah, it's obviously Charlie Hunnam is not going to be returning. We have our band. We have our band now, which what's his name? Titus, General Titus. He looks
General Titus,
jacked.
he's gonna be awesome.
Digimon, yeah, he looked jacked when he was seen there. I was like, "Whoa, you look a lot
Mhm.
bigger than you did in Shazam."
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah,
And he wasn't flexing. He's just
no,
huge, bro.
he's just over. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want?
Yeah, I was like, imagine when this fool's like really like yeah, he's big, bro.
Mm. But he didn't have a lot of action scenes.
No, but
Yeah.
I think on the second one he'll have a lot more because
Mm.
they made sure to make sure that his name was important.
Yes, and there is I think one of the clips or promotional material you see him in his soldier uniform.
Yeah, the trailer. They released did you watch the trailer at the end of Rebel Moon?
Yes. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was what they
There he is.
showed some of the him in the armor. So let's say
Mm,
we're gonna see his backstory on why he was so like, away, his team and all
mm.
that stuff. Like I feel like we're gonna actually see all that stuff.
Because that was one of the what ifs going into, and Anthony Hopkins as the robot.
I knew it. I knew that was him. I didn't look it up because I forgot to look it up, but I was like, is that Anthony Hopkins? And
Yeah,
over and over, I was like, is that him? That was
yeah,
cool.
and just the fact that he just left. I'm like,
That
okay,
yeah, I didn't understand that part. I'll be honest. I still don't understand the robot part. Even the ending,
yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, they say that these robots were the king's guard, and obviously
Yeah,
without
yeah.
the king, they're lost. And then he just took his flower crown and left. And then at the end, yeah, has antlers.
That's why you say you have to pay attention to them every single thing they say
Yeah,
because you're right. They mention all these things that I'm like, wait, what? They said that? I'm like, I didn't understand why he was at the end. But okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
yeah. Well, that's that. I would say this is almost Inception vibes. Like
Mhm.
you really have to listen to everything because
Yeah,
if you just watch this, you can get
mhm.
at the end and go, what the fuck?
Yeah, I agree. And I know we've been praising it so much, and there was some little flaws in the movie. It was a little kind of like it dragged a little bit. Like there was so much dialogue where I felt like you
Yeah.
could have visually shown these things because, like you said, like my brother was the one who caught it. He was like, I'm having to listen to so much monologue and watch so many visuals at the same time and try to
Mm,
make sense of them. And he's like, what? Because like she's saying important things, but they're showing you important things at the same time. And so
mm.
sometimes it felt a little bit hard because she would go on for like 5 minutes talking, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
like just
A little bit
visually show
jarring.
us. Yeah, I was like, I would prefer to see it than to have some of those moments where it was just a lot of talking. Uh,
Mm.
some of those parts were a little, and I like movies that they're slow burns. Like I don't mind them. But that was one of the flaws to me that I was kind of like, they could have visually shown some of these parts instead of just kept talking and talking, because like you said, you have to then really, really pay attention. And there can be a lot of talking in the movie.
Yeah. And this is obviously because of the massive weight that he's trying to build this new universe, if you will. Like, he's even said the fact that he started writing the script for part 3. And as I mentioned, there's a video game coming, there's comic books coming. Like, he's really trying to build this world into it. I'm like, yeah, that's good. You probably didn't need to cram as much into that first movie. You probably could have, created
Left it out for us a little bit.
Create a prologue, or something small. And I can 100% see why Netflix picked this up. Like, this is a Hollywood production movie.
I agree. It's a big blockbuster vibes. Like, it really has the, like, I'm hoping it is the next big thing for sure. Because like you said, like, this first movie does feel like there's so much being crammed in. So much.
He's that. Yeah, she's that. He's that. Yeah, the connector.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm good.
You're trying to keep up and stuff. So you're like, even I was kind of like, man, I wish we could have been a little bit more like 1 to 3 kind of, but it's fine. I'm like, okay, if we can be a little bit more chill on the second movie, then I get it. We're just world building that first movie. Yeah, but those action scenes were dope, man.
Oh, they were, especially the spider scene. And I did like all the scenes on the bridge too. I thought that was good.
Yeah, that was
as soon as I got caught, I was like, oh, you guys are this is getting interesting.
I didn't expect that either. That I'm usually pretty good at like catching.
Twist?
Yeah. I'm that was a good twist, bro.
I think God, sorry about that. But yeah, when you said that was the part where I was too comfortable thinking this was like Star Wars.
Yes, you kind of felt more like he was like a Han Solo.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, he's gonna join her, he's gonna do this, and but then when that twist happened, I was like,
and he even made you feel a minute before that scene happened that, like, I'm with you, like, I can't wait to get off this planet. Like, you're like, that's my boy. Him and Cora are gonna end up together. Like, that's my boy. And then not even a minute later, you're like, bro, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck, bro? Like, that, I did not expect that. I should have caught it. Honestly, bro, anybody could have caught it immediately that he was gonna be a
he was your 10.
Because immediately he said, "Oh, I'm down to do this." And he goes, and he's like, "There's nothing in it for me except like the adventure stuff." And I was like, "That's bullshit."
Yeah.
Like, no, if he's like Han Solo, then he has to have something in on this. Like, there's no way he's doing this out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah, you're not that humble. You're not that humble.
And we got to see it right there. I was like, you son of a... And his plan was so good. He got them so comfortable. He got them to trust him. He got them to be allies. And none of them fucking saw that shit coming. Not one of them saw that coming.
Nope. And then he even says, oh, yeah, don't look in the containers.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought this was a good twist, but I thought this was a good role verse. How about in the bar? How that alien wanted to pick up the farmer.
Oh, in the beginning, in the bounty hunter.
The beginning.
Oh my gosh, bro!
How he wanted to go pick him up. I was like, all right, that's a good role verse.
That was I didn't see that part coming either. Like he's like, mind your business, telling the girl. I was like, oh my gosh.
I thought it was just gonna be the same. Was like, oh no, you don't belong here. Get out. I was like, okay, no, he wants a farmer boy.
He's like, you're gonna want more. You're gonna be begging for more tomorrow. I was like, oh my gosh, bro. I was like,
I know. I was like,
and Farmer Boy was a farmer. That's what I like. That like he didn't really develop till the end, but that he stayed his character. And at the end, it was when he was like, all right, I gotta fucking change. But like, he stayed that like farmer boy. He was never trying to be someone he wasn't at first. Like he was just like, I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying whatever I can do. And it wasn't until the end where it was like, you need to step up and stop being a fucking coward, or you're just a weightless body we're just carrying around, you know?
Yeah, I know. And the fact is like, oh, I manage the grains. That's all I do. And now, by the way, now I've also killed people, gone to space, and yeah,
That's me.
all in a day's work, boy.
Yeah.
But no, there was I couldn't. It was but yeah, part 2 that's coming on April 19th, which you're kind of going to come back for.
Yeah.
You're gonna come back a show because we're gonna do back to back.
Oh, of course.
Will you go watch the director's cut when that drops?
Oh, 100%. 100%. That's what I'm a Zack Snyder like fanatic. I love Zack Snyder. Again, like I'm very open about being honest about how I feel about his movies, but like I love Zack Snyder's movies. I'm a biggest fan of his work. So like anything Zack drops, like I'm there. Count me in. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
I mean, do it. Anyway, he's a really good director. He's a really good writer. He's just had some really shit luck.
Yeah.
Both professionally and in his family.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But to me, I have seen a lot of negative reviews about this film. A lot of people hating on it. And after I watched the film, like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as what people are claiming it to be. I'm like, no, this is a solid action movie. Yes, it's got a bit of you have to listen to, but it's like there's a lot worse out there that's come out this year compared to this.
Yeah, I agree. I think even as a Zack fanatic, I really did like this movie a lot, but I didn't love it. But I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked it. But yeah, I didn't love this movie. Like I don't think anybody would hate it, and I do see why people could love the movie though. Like I can see myself loving this movie the next watch, 2-3 more watches, like because I'm gonna keep watching it. Like I can see myself falling in love with this movie. But yeah, I don't think this movie is bad. I don't think I read some of the hate, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Like I don't understand where it's coming from.
No, neither do I. Which now I come to think of it, maybe it'll be something like Justice League, like and Batman v Superman, where people didn't like the theatrical version, but when they got the director's cut, people loved it.
There's so much more in there.
There's so much more, and things weren't so cram-packed together.
Yeah.
So I think it could be one of those things that terrible. They say IGN gives this a 5, but then you get the director's cut and go, no, this is actually an 8.
Which usually what happens with Zack's movies.
Yeah.
They always jump up. They're like, well, I guess the director's ultimate edition was better. It's like, yeah.
It is. I remember when I watched Batman v Superman, his cut. I'm like, this makes so much more sense. But why was this all like? Why were these cut out?
Important pieces cut out. It was wild.
Yeah, and Justice League the Snyder cut is the biggest thing. I was so many points in that cut. Yes, it does go for 4 hours.
It's long.
But so long. But there was a lot in that. I'm like, if we got this, that was a lot better than the shitty Joss Whedon one.
Bro, I don't even know how Warner Brothers saw anything that Joss Whedon did on that movie and we're like, you know what? We're gonna put this one out. Like, I don't understand. Like when you watch the Snyder Cut and you go like, y'all didn't like this? What? Like y'all, not only did y'all not like y'all made them refilm the movie. Like that's how much I didn't like it. And your Blu-ray sales sold more than what Justice League did. For the Snyder Cut sold more than what Justice League did. That's wild. That's wild to me. Like, and they still were like, nah, Zack Snyder's not the one. And all their movies kept failing after that. And I was like, no movie has passed this after Aquaman. No movie has passed.
Nothing after Aquaman.
Nothing. They haven't passed Man of Steel. Man of Steel was the lowest movie at the time, which was 600 something million. That was the lowest for them, 600 something million. And now DC hasn't even passed that.
It got low. Spoiler, it got a lot lower.
A lot lower.
Yeah. And one of my biggest gripes about it is which I will never, until the day I die, I will never understand this. Is like we have this really cool flash scene where he's going to hold time. He's going to hold time. The soundtrack's cool. He's going to this whole time travel. Huh. That's cool. Let's just get him to save some Russians. That seems more like a Flash thing to do.
Dude. When I saw that scene, I not only did I cry, how beautiful it was. And he was talking to his dad on that, like telling him that your son mattered. I was like, they cut this? Like, they thought this was like,
yeah.
Oh, what?
Someone said no.
Oh my gosh! Like that's where you got to go. Like I don't think Warner Brothers knows what they're doing at all over there. Like someone over there hates DC, hates their own company, doesn't want to make money. I don't know what it is.
No, and look, that's why I'm glad that James Gunn's in full control. I'm like, I trust him. If he's got full control, and Warner Brothers has very little, because he's going to arc up. He's really going to arc up when someone touches his projects of interference. And which is proven in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the fact that's I think that's 90% James Gunn is in those 3 movies. And the other 10% is him just making sure that leads onto Infinity Stone and leads to Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm. But very, very, very subtle in a way that it never takes away from the Guardian movies.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure I think Kevin Feige's even said he only gave him, hey, it just needs to connect to this and this. Go nuts.
Yeah, which is how it should be. Yeah, I think James, like you said, as long as they give him full control, I think he'll do a good job with DC.
And I would love to see what Zack Snyder could do with a Marvel movie.
Well, Colin, what Marvel movie would you like him to see? Would you want him to do?
Well, he did say in a recent interview, he did say there is one Marvel movie that he would do if he got control of, and he would like to do a Daredevil movie. And I think he could do that really cool, especially like with Daredevil's obviously when he's blind, his sensory powers, I think would be really cool. But if I was getting pen to paper, Ghost Rider.
I didn't think about Ghost Rider. That's good.
You could make something so visually action with Ghost Rider.
That would be dope. I didn't even think about. I was thinking grittiness. I was thinking Punisher, but Ghost Rider. Oh my gosh, that one. I'm sold on Zack Snyder doing a Ghost Rider movie. I'm sold on that.
Punisher, I think it would be too basic for him.
Yeah.
Something like Ghost Rider. He would just go nuts with.
Yeah, you're right.
My only request is that if you were to make it and if you produce it, please do that to be the director's cut. Just put everything in that in one go. Don't
give us one. Yeah,
just give us the one.
I agree. I thought Rebel Moon was the end until when I saw the interview and he was like, "There's a director's cut." I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought it was just one version. Luckily, I'm a fan, but I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was just the one because what got me was I remember him saying in an interview that this is Star Wars, sex, drugs, and roll, and it's gonna be brutal, and that's why I was like, "Where's the blood?"
I agree.
And then that's when I googled it. Said, "Oh, there's a director's cut." I'm like, "Of course there is." Why did I think there wasn't going to be?
Right? Zach always has to have a director's cut.
Yeah, but I probably would go on like Zack Snyder's filmography. I probably would in order. I'd probably go 300, Justice League Snyder Cut, and then I'll go Rebel Moon.
Really? You like Rebel Moon that much?
Yeah, I would go.
Yeah,
I didn't like too much. Starts with S. It was all the girl ones.
Oh, Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch really didn't do it for me.
Sucker Punch. I like Sucker Punch. I didn't love the concept of Sucker Punch, that it was all like in her head. That kept frustrating me. I was always just like, why can't this be real? Like, why does it have to be in her head? I always kept, but I liked it. But I can see that. So 300. Then you said, what was the second one?
Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut, and then Rebel Moon.
Yeah. 300, I always have a special place because I think that That's such a good story. Visually, it's good. It is it's start to finish. It's a punch in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. It's very underrated. I was my brother after he watched this movie because he wasn't the biggest fan of Rebel Moon. He was like, I don't know if I love it, and then he goes, I don't know if I love Zack Snyder's style. And then I started naming his movies, and he goes, I love that movie, I love that one, I love that one, I love that one. He goes, damn it, never mind. He goes, maybe maybe it was just this movie. And then we were talking about it, and then he was kind of like, oh, you know what? Okay, maybe I just didn't understand the movie as much, And I was like, no, you got to watch it. Because for me, bro, I don't know what order, but Watchmen, Man of Steel,
oh my god.
and 300.
Oh my god. I just forgot about Watchmen, Man of Steel.
Bro.
Shoot me. I call myself a movie buff. Adding those, it's 300 still actually, yeah. It'd be 300, Snyder Cut, Man of Steel, Watchmen, Rebel Moon.
Yeah, Man of Steel and Watchmen are they are amazing movies. The moment I named Watchmen to my brother too, he goes, "You don't gotta say anything else." He goes, "That's enough for me to remember that Zack Snyder did a good job." I was like, "I know, bro." Yeah, Watchmen is ahead of its time.
It was, and I think some people really underrated it, but it is such a good movie. Yes, you have to grasp it a little because it's a time piece movie, but after that, it's so good.
Really, really good. Visually, the story, every single thing about the action, the jail scene, bro, where I'm not locked in here with you. You're in here with me. I was like, gosh, yeah.
Good movie. Man of Steel. That's the thing is Man of Steel has such a good soundtrack. Henry Cavill did so good, and I have full hopes for Superman Legacy. The fact that James Gunn's behind the chair, and from what sounds like they're not going to do Crash on the Planet. He was raised by farmers. This is his story. The fact that they're just going to go straight into it.
Yeah. I think he's a few years into it now. So that's kind of, I like that too. I like that we're like, okay, everybody knows Superman. We all know exactly everything. Like, let's jump in there now. Like, I'm ready. We're all ready for it. Let's do it.
That's why I liked the Batman.
Same.
Just got straight into it. It was more so, I think, Batman Year 1, but we didn't see his parents die. We didn't see him doing the whole, the bats are going to be the thing. Like, I feel because of movies, just get straight into it. We know the story.
I agree. Just jump right into that.
Yeah, like you don't need to tell. And I think they're also doing that with Batman, the new Batman movie,
Raven the Bold, right? Or
Raven the Bold. I think they're doing the same thing, getting straight into it. I'm like, yes, just skip all that. We don't need the prequel anymore.
I agree.
Any final thoughts on Rebel Moon, A Child of Fire?
I think it's a good movie. I think it's worth watching it. I think everybody should give it a shot. It's a huge action film. I really, really enjoyed it and liked it a lot. I'm not gonna say love yet. I know I'm gonna love it, but I want to watch it again. Just because
you'll love it when you get to the director's cut.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. But I think it's worth it. I love the characters in there. They were all good. Ray Fisher, Charlie Hunnam, one of my favorite. I think it's a great movie. Seriously, like again, there's some flaws, there's some little boring parts, some parts a lot of monologue, but once you get past some of those parts and you pay attention, it'll make the movie worth it. Even the ending, you get to the ending, it'll be worth it. I promise. You'll be like, that was worth it. That was good. That was good. Yeah, those are my final thoughts. Good movie. Everybody should definitely check out Rebel Moon.
I couldn't agree more, man. I agree. Like, yes, there is a lot of exposition. You do have to pay attention to it, but it's a solid action movie. I say, don't believe all the hate it's getting. It's completely unwarranted. There are people out there who are just Zack Snyder haters. This movie is a win for Netflix, and I'm excited for part 2 and where that's going to lead. It does suck that's 4 months away, but it is what it is.
Better than a year.
Yeah, I know. But I guess, can't complain. Better than a year.
Yeah.
But Rebel Moon, how many stars would you give it out of 5?
I would say 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. I'd give it. I won't wait till the director's cut, but 3.5 out of 5, yeah.
Director's cut.
What about you?
4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go 3. I'd probably go 3 stars.
Mhm.
3 stars is like there's more that can be done with it, but at the same time, this is not trash.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So stop stressing people.
Yeah. It's good.
Uh,
Trust. It's good. It's good.
Do it. Well, look, man, I would like to say thank you so much for coming on the show and being for this episode. I am so glad the fact that we hit 100. We've gone for nearly 2 hours.
Dang. That's really cool.
On this. It's been a while since I've done a 2-hour episode. I think my longest one is 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
Almost there. And there was
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think what was a lot of it was we're talking about Star Trek or Stargate, and it just blew it just blew out.
Kept going from there.
Yeah, just kept going. So worth it.
Yeah.
But look, man, I would say thank you so much for coming on the show. All your links and everything will be in the show notes. Well, actually, they already are, but we know when this also goes on Spotify. And I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. No, it was an honor to come on here, bro. I really, really appreciate you having me on here, dude. Like, it was one of the most exciting things. I was definitely like pumped up. Like, I was like, oh, I get to get on the podcast and talk about Rebel Moon. That's awesome. Like, heck yeah. So I really, really appreciate you having me on, brother. Seriously.
All right, anytime, and I will check out your movie, and
Yes.
you will definitely be back for when part 2 drops.
Awesome.
And next time we do this, won't be as much technical difficulties either.
Yeah. I'll have it in order next time for sure.
That's good. And as always, thank you very much for everyone coming past. And until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.